Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, if you've ever stared blankly at a government website and just felt completely overwhelmed by those endless walls of text, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're taking an incredibly dense, honestly intimidating 16-step U.S. passport application procedure, and we are transforming it into a simple, foolproof visual checklist. Our goal here is to make sure you get through this whole process without a single hiccup, avoiding all the usual delays and headaches. So let's jump right in.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We've taken this giant bureaucratic maze and chunked it down into 5 easy-to-conquer phases: the passport acceptance facility, are you eligible, preparing your application, the in-person appointment, and finally, processing and delivery.
All right, let's jump right into phase 1, the passport acceptance facility, and exactly where to start. To make this whole thing super practical, let's talk about our example applicant, John. He needs a U.S. passport for a big trip coming up, but he's quite literally starting from square one today. Are you kind of in John's shoes right now? You know, you've got the travel bug, but you're sitting there wondering where on earth you actually go to hand in this mountain of paperwork. It can honestly feel like a total mystery, right? Well, the magic answer here is the passport acceptance facility. And what's actually really great about this is that these aren't some top secret government bunkers hidden away somewhere. They're just local spots right in your own community. We're talking participating post offices, clerks of court, public libraries, you name it. In fact, there are over 7,500 of these facilities spread all across the U.S. Basically, just think of them as the crucial middleman between you and the Department of State. Their whole job is just to accept and verify your application in person.
Moving right along to phase 2, are you eligible? Basically, who actually needs to apply this way? Here's the really crucial thing to remember. You generally only use an acceptance facility when you have to apply in person using Form DS-11. And doing that is completely mandatory if, say, it's your very first U.S. passport, if you're under 16, if your last passport was issued when you were a minor, or if that old passport was issued over 15 years ago. Oh, and you also have to go in person if your passport was lost, stolen, or damaged. Now, our friend John falls right into that first bucket. He is a first-time applicant, so he absolutely has to visit a facility. If you just need a standard adult renewal, you can usually just knock that out by mail or online.
Okay, phase 3, preparing your application. Gather your documents. Let's take a peek at John's exact document checklist. He needs 5 core things ready to go before he even walks out his front door. First up, Form DS-11. Second, proof of U.S. citizenship, so something like a U.S. birth certificate or a certificate of naturalization. Third is proof of identity, like a valid driver's license. Fourth, a nice, clear photocopy of that exact same ID. And finally, number 5, a compliant U.S. passport photo. And a quick side note here, John should definitely not staple or attach that photo himself. The acceptance agent actually has to do that for him. Gathering these 5 things ahead of time takes a stressful bureaucratic errand and turns it into an absolute breeze.
Now listen up, because this is probably the single biggest trap people fall into. Do not sign DS-11 before you go to the acceptance facility. I literally cannot emphasize this enough. If you print this form out at home and proudly sign your name at the bottom, you have just invalidated the whole thing. You actually have to sign it right there in front of the acceptance agent because they have to administer a required oath at the exact same time. So do yourself a huge favor and leave the pen at home until you are sitting right across from that agent. Which brings us to another super critical warning straight from the source material. Never, ever pay a third party just to make your acceptance facility appointment. Some of these places take walk-ins, some need you to call ahead and schedule, but the U.S. Department of State explicitly says they do not charge an appointment fee. So always use the official search tool on the government website, and please steer clear of anyone trying to sell you a time slot online. And this brilliantly illustrates the actual fee structure, because you aren't just handing over one giant lump sum. For a first-time adult passport book, there are 2 totally separate fees. You've got the $130 application fee, and that goes directly to the U.S. Department of State, usually by check or money order. Then there's a separate $35 acceptance facility fee, and that money actually stays right there with that local post office or library. You've got to be ready to pay both of these entities separately, so definitely check with your local facility beforehand to see exactly what payment methods they accept for their $35 cut. All right, we've made it to phase 4, the in-person appointment. What to expect. So it's finally appointment day. John arrives on time, he's got his unsigned form, and his separate payments are all ready to go. We've actually condensed steps 8 through 12 of the government manual right here, so you can see exactly what John experiences when he steps up to the desk.
First, the agent checks the application just to make sure it's complete, the photos are up to par, and the copies are all there. Second, they verify John's identity against his physical driver's license. Third, and this is that moment we warned you about earlier, John takes the required oath. And finally, step 4, John signs Form DS-11 right there in front of the agent. Boom. Done. It's simple, it's structured, and it's fast.
But before we leave the counter, I do want to clear up one really common misconception. The facility does not print your passport. They don't make the final approval decision either. They are simply your secure submission point. The agent's real job is just to bundle your application, secure all those supporting documents, and safely mail the whole shebang off into the Department of State's passport processing system.
Which leads us to our final stop, Phase 5, processing and delivery, the waiting game.
Let's look at how this actually builds out into a timeline. Day 1 is the day your application gets mailed by the facility. Once it finally hits the Department of State, a specialist reviews everything to make sure you're eligible and all your identity info matches up. If everything looks perfect, it gets printed. So how long does that all take? Well, currently the Department of State lists routine processing at about 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if you're in a rush and you pay extra for expedited processing, you can actually shrink that wait down to 2 to 3 weeks. But do keep in mind, these estimates don't include the time it takes the mail carriers to actually deliver the physical book to your front door.
So, you've gathered your documents, you skipped the scams, you signed exactly when you were supposed to, and you've navigated all the timelines. Now that you've got this complete roadmap to conquering the U.S. passport application process, the only real question left is this: where will your new passport take you first? Think about it, get that trip planned, and hey, thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.